Good evening everyone, today we are taking a deep dive into one of the most unexpected gaming stories of 2025, Schedule 1. This is a game that looked like a small, scrappy indie project, but somehow managed to blow up into a viral mega hit. We are going to explore everything about this game, what it is, why it is so addictive, the mechanics that keep players hooked, and the hilarious and weird stories players have shared since launch. We'll also look at the controversy surrounding its similarities to Drug Dealer Simulator, hear what solo developer has said about the game future, and even go through some of the wildest recipes the community has discovered. Schedule 1 officially landed on March 24, 2025 as an early access title on Steam, developed entirely by solo creator named Tyler, working under the name TVGS. It throws you into fictional city of Highland Point, where your goal is to start a drug empire from scratch. At its core, the game is a mix of open-world exploration, Tycoon management, and hands-on minigames. You begin small, growing basing with plants or cooking simple meat batches. Then, as your empire grows, you hire workers, expand to new properties, automate your production, and eventually takes over entire districts. But here is the twist. Schedule 1 doesn't look like the gritty crime simulator we're used to. Instead of ultra-realistic graphics, the game leans into cartoonish stylized world. Hard to have exaggerated faces, bright colors, pop-off scream, and the vibe feels more like a parody of crime scenes than a direct competitor to games like Grand Theft Auto. That goofy style is actually part of why game works. On one hand, you are dealing with dark themes like addiction, cops, and criminal growth. On the other hand, NPC might suddenly grow neon green because you mixed soda into their meth. The contrast between serious subjects matter and lighthearted visuals make it approachable, funny, and endlessly memeable. One of the most fascinating things about Schedule 1 is how quickly the community embraced it and began telling their own stories. On Reddit, one player shared how they set up shop in the worst possible motor room. Every night they would run back and forth between a wheat-growing closet and tiny mixing station and a sketchy kitchen setup. They said it felt like running three jobs at once: farmer, chemis, and street hustler. But after about 10 hours, they will build a full pipeline with hired staff, and suddenly all they had to do was walk around collecting bags of cash. The proudest moment when a cab pulled them over and they had just barely a time to dump a backpack of drugs into a dumpster before getting searched. Another fan made headlines in the community after writing a Python script to calculate every possible drug recipe in the game. The script churned out insane combinations, including one that used all 45 ingredients in the game. The effect list was like something out of the comedy sketch: moonshines, laxity, zombifying, electrifying, and more, all from one chaotic batch. Then you have got the TikTok and Twitch clips. Player logging at their entire lab exploded because they added the wrong mix of friends screaming in co-op as one accidentally runs into a police checkpoint with a trunk full of cocaine bricks. This moment fueled the game virality. By the time word spread, Schedule 1 has already sold 8 million copies in just 2 months, plugging into almost $125 million. For one guy work solo, that is nothing short of insane. What makes this story even more wild is that the Schedule 1 isn't the work of a big team. It is creation of one person, Tyler, a solo developer from Australia. Tyler started working on the project in 2022. At the time, he worried even about naming the game. He posted on Reddit Game Dev asking if he should add words like drug or narco to the title so people would know what it was about. Some people told him the name Schedule was too vogue. Others thought it was genius. In the end, he kept it. Fast forward a few years later, and now if you Google Schedule 1, you will see his game sitting right next to the US government website about narcotics. Tyler has been open with players. He admitted development is tough, balancing solo coding, bug fixing, feature requests, moving house, and even university work. But his close relationship with the community has kept excitement alive. And players want on the next big update. In interview, he has described the process as exhausting but rewarding. Seeing hundreds of thousands of players online at once blew him away. He even said that at launch he couldn't believe the Steam charts. His little project sitting above GTA 5, for him it has proved that the players love creative risk. Mixing is where Schedule 1 truly shines. Instead of just pressing a button to create drugs, you play through an interactive minigame at mixing station. The idea is simple. Take a base drug like OG Kush or meth and then add modifiers like soda, paracetamol or chili. But depending on what you add, you can create hilarious or here are a few recipes players way by. Beginner special. Start with OG Kush, add soda, cost practically nothing. Effects? NPC turn hyperactive, bouncing around. It sells for a surprising markup early game. The Huster Tree, a community farewell from wildest. Banana, cucumber, paracetamol, gasoline, battery, horseman semen, and mega bean. It costs just $38, but sells for $340, with insane effects like glowing, zombifying, and even random explosions. Mad Bomb Stick, a recipe combined with chili powder, paracetamol, and soda. Players say it makes NPC jitter so hard they sometimes clip through walls, which is both broken and hilarious. Max House Mix, that 45 ingredients combo discovered by Reddit coder, it has at least 10 overlapping effects. One tester wrote, "My customer literally turned into zombie, started growing purple, then kneeled over." But it is not just about comedy. There is strategy too. High priority, crane recipes sell for premium prices and lower suspicion. Dirty heroic mixes bring big cash fast but increase police risk. Smart players balance both. Some even use community calculations. One tool lets you plug in desired effect and split out of the cheapest recipe. Another reverse calculation figures out what you just created based on your test result. The fan-made tool showed just how deep mixing goes. Of course, mixing is only part of the fun. The empire building loop keeps you hooked for hours. You start small, maybe renting a Dignity motel room. From there, you set up grow lights, base mixing station, and package drugs by hand. But soon you can hire botanists to grow for you, chemists to mix, handlers to move ingredients, and dealers to get products on the streets. Eventually, your empire runs out of most automatically, leaving you to focus on expansions, pricing, and risk management. Risk is crucial, police are everywhere, on patrol, running roadblocks, setting up car fairs. If you are caught dealing, you can lose money, gear, or even your empire. Players often share close car stories of tossing product into dumpsters or spriting into allies with cops hot on their heels. And there is co-op mode. Up to 4 players can join forces. Some groups assign roles. One grows, one mixes, one sells, one rules distraction for the cops. Others just go full house, with everyone cooking meth in one house until it inevitably catch fire. Co-op stream on Twitch often turn into screaming chaos, and that's only half the charm. Together, these mechanics make Schedule 1 more than a joke game, it's a legit Tycoon simulator with high stakes, and the biggest shakeup so far came in the Rival Cartel update. This patch introduced the Benzies family, a violent guide moving into Highland Point. Now, instead of just worrying about the cops, you got rival criminals. They ambush dealers, rob supply drops, and even spray graffiti onto your turf. Sometimes they will offer deals or force into dangerous choices. Other times it'll out war. The update also added a shotgun, letting you defend your operation, plus cosmetic features like new char styles, graffiti customization, and even ability to buy a luxury menu once you beat the cartel storyline. Players love it. Before the game risked becoming too easy once automated your empire, now the Benzies cartel keeps pressuring high. One player wrote, I thought I was untouchable until the Benzies rolled up and cleaned out my best dealer. Another said, finally, I felt like I'm in actual crime drama, not just a management sim. Tyler admitted the update was delayed, since he was juggling university and moving house, but apologized to fans and promised even bigger things ahead. And then the response was clear. Players were happy to wait for quality. Novirat Hills comes with a drama. In April 2025, Schedule 1 ran into controversy with the publisher of Drug Dealer Simulator Movie Games SA, announced they were investigating the game for possible copyright infringement. Why? Because both games share a similar loop: grow drugs, expand operation, sell to NPCs. Some fans thought Schedule 1 looked too much like a polished, funnier version of Drug Dealer Simulator. But here is the catch: there was never a lawsuit. Movie Games clarified multiple times that they were only investigating because they had to, but they weren't suing. Still, the announcement sparked a backlash. Angry fans began review bombing Drug Dealer Simulator, accusing the publisher of trying to kill an indie darling. Tyler himself confirmed he would be contacted, but he said the issue didn't go anywhere. Most critics agreed, game mechanics like growing and selling aren't copyrightable. As Weiser put it, Schedule 1 is simply a much more charming game to play by a counter mile. In the end, the controversy actually boosted Schedule 1. Players lied around, seeing it as was the underdog fighting over corporate pressure. For movie games, thought it was pure nightmare. So where is Schedule 1 heading? Tyler roadmap includes new drugs, weather system, fishing minigames, and more police mechanics. Fans are particularly excited about mushrooms, since that was one of the run-up update votes. There is also talk of console release, but Tyler insists he won't rush it. He wants the game polished and stable before porting. Meanwhile, the community keeps building tools. There is now a mobile companion app where you can play, mix, and track profits on your phone. Fans also create insane guides, calculation, and even mods. Back success has also attracted clones. Shady knockoffs like Schedule 1, Mafia Empire have already appeared on storefronts. Tyler wants players to stick with the official game and not waste money on fakes. Given how fast the game sold, how viral it went, and how much more is played, it is safe to say Schedule 1 isn't a one-hit wonder. It could become one of the defining indie games of the decade. And that is our deep dive into Schedule 1. What started as a small solo project turned into cultural moment, a weird, fun and sometimes shocking game that captured players' imagination around the world. From goofy minigames and bizarre mixing recipes to intense cartel wars and police chases, this game managed to be both hilarious and genuinely strategic, and the passionate community add and dedicated solo developer, and now you got a recipe for success. What do you think? Will you play Schedule 1? Will you ally with Benzies Cartel or try to take them down? And most importantly, which recipe would you mix first? If you enjoyed this breakdown, stay creative, stay bold, and make keep your experiments in the virtual worlds only.